Hi, welcome to Yogendra's physics class. Today we discuss about electricity, right? So what is the importance of electricity in the daily life? So electricity is very important form of energy, and it is very useful in our daily life. For example, the cell phone is working with electricity only. Bulb, fan, television, and different things in our daily life, we used it in daily life working with electricity only. So today we discuss about electricity. So first of all, what is electricity? So electricity means, actually it is a form of energy. Electricity is a form of energy. It is one form of energy. Okay. Light, for example, light is also electromagnetic wave. That means light consists electricity and magnetism both. It consists electric field and magnetic field. Okay. So here electricity can be divided into two parts. Electricity can be divided into two parts based on the nature of the charge. Okay. So nature of the charge, based on nature of the charge, electricity can be divided into two parts. So one is static electricity. And it is also called as electrostatics. Static electricity is also called as electrostatics. And the second one is current electricity. So what is the difference between static electricity and current electricity? When the charge is at rest, the study of both charges is called as static electricity or electrostatics. When the charge is in motion, okay, here charge is at rest. This is called as, this part of electricity is called as static electricity. And when charge is in motion, it is called as current electricity. Okay. So before going to discuss about different parts of electricity, first we need to know about meaning of the charge. What is the charge? What is the meaning of the charge? So we all know different particles present in the matter. What are the particles? Different particles, fundamental particles present in an atom. Fundamental particles present in an atom are electron. Number one is electron, and number two is proton, and number three is neutron. So here what is electron? Electron is a fundamental particle. It is present in the atom. So what it consists? It consists charge. Charge is present on electron. So charge means it is the fundamental property of fundamental particles like electron, proton. Here neutron has no charge. It is chargeless particle. It has only mass. Whereas electron and proton have charges. Here, what type of charge is present on electron? Electron consists negative charge. Negative charge is present on electron, and proton consists positive charge. Okay. So how much charge is present on electron? Minus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs negative charge is present. It is numerical value. It is the numerical value of the charge of electron, minus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. And the proton consists plus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Here, electron and proton both have equal magnitude of the charge. So whatever the quantity of the charge present on electron, the same quantity of charge is present on proton also. But they have different masses. The mass of electron is very less, negligible. But proton has considerable mass. It has considerable mass, and it has considerable charge also. So what is the meaning of the charge? The meaning of the charges, it is a fundamental property of fundamental particle. Fundamental property of fundamental particle. And charge of a material of a body or particle is the property acquired or natural due to which it produces and experiences electrical and magnetic effects. Some of the naturally charged particles are electron and proton. Okay, right. Now let us see the properties of the charges. What are the properties of the charges? Here, charge means it is quantized. Charge is quantized. That means charge is generally represented by the letter Q, and Q is equal to Ne. Here N is the number and E is the charge of electron. So the charge present on a body is equal to the definite values, definite number of values. Okay, for example, here 2 electrons are present on one body. Then it consists of 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So like this, the charge present on a body is equal to the particular one definite numerical value. So we can say charge is quantized. Charge is quantized. And charge is conserved. Conserved means it neither be created nor destroyed. Actually, charge is due to the presence of electron or proton. So it neither be created nor destroyed. Okay. For example, here we have one glass rod. One glass rod is there, and here one silk cloth is there. If we rub the glass rod with silk cloth, then what will happen? Here, glass rod acquires the positive charge and silk cloth acquires the negative charge. It is a general experience. Okay, experimentally we can understand this. Okay, when glass rod is rubbed with the silk cloth, glass rod acquires the positive charge and silk cloth acquires the negative charge. Here new charges are not created. New form of charge is not created. But here what is happening? Okay, let us see the structure. Okay, according to the Bohr's atomic model, every atom consists of positively charged nucleus and electrons are revolving around the nucleus. Okay, so electrons are present in the extranuclear part and protons are bound to the nucleus. The central part of an atom is called as the nucleus. It consists positively charged protons and chargeless particles, neutrons. But what about electrons? Electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a particular orbit. Okay. Here, charge is present due to the electrons only. Charge present on any body. Okay, for example, here silk cloth or glass rod. The charge is present due to the transfer of electrons only, not due to the transfer of protons. Protons are always bound to the nucleus. They never transferred from one body to another body. They always bound to the nucleus. Here, electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom, they are called as valency electrons. Valency electrons. Okay, valency electrons. What are the valency electrons? Electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom is called as valency electrons, and these valency electrons are loosely bounded to the nucleus. Electrons present in the inner orbits of an atom are strongly bounded to the nucleus because more force of attraction is acting. More force of electrostatic forces are acting on electrons present in the inner orbits. Okay, the force present on electron present in the outermost orbit of an atom are very weak forces. So these valency electrons are easily we can remove the electrons, okay, by providing some amount of energy. When we rub the glass rod with the silk cloth, what is happening? Here, due to the friction, okay, due to some friction, what is happening? Some amount of energy is supplied. Due to that, the electron present in the glass rods, valency electron present in the glass rod are easily removed, and these electrons are transferred from glass rod to silk. So here the number of electrons present in glass rod decreases and number of electrons present in the silk cloth increases. Here the total number of protons remains same. Only the number of Electrons present in the two bodies are different. Okay. So after transfer of electrons, what is happening? Here? The mass of the positively charged particle or body decreases, and the mass of the negatively charged body increases. Here new charges, already I told you, new charges are not formed, only charge is transferred from here to here. So we can say charge is conserved. Charge is quantized and charge is conserved. Quantized means it is equal to the definite values, and second one is conserved. Conserve means constant. So the mass of charge of a particle is always conserved, right? And charge is a scalar quantity. It has no direction. Okay, it has magnitude. What magnitude? How much magnitude is present? Numerical value. It has some numerical value. Charge is a scalar quantity, and it is a derived unit. It is derived quantity. Why? Because a charge depends upon number of electrons. So how many types of charges are present? Here already we discussed two types of charges are present. Here the body which loses electrons acquires the positive charge, and the body which gains electrons acquires the negative charge. So the overall charge present on glass is positive, and overall charge present on silk is negative after rubbing with each other. But before that, the number of electrons in the glass rod and the number of protons present in the glass rod are equal. So it is electrically neutral body before rubbing. And before rubbing silk cloth also electrically neutral. But after rubbing the glass rod with the silk cloth, what is happening? Here electrons, valence electrons are transferred from glass rod to silk cloth. So two types of charges are present in the nature. Okay? Just pause. How many types of charges are present? Okay, types of charges. So two types of charges are present, positive charge and negative charge. The body which loses electrons acquires the positive charge, and the body which gains electron acquires the negative charge. Here mass of this body is less than mass of this body. So this is about the types of charges. Okay, types of charges. Right. Now we discuss about units of charges. What are the units of charges? Okay, what are the units of the charges? Charge, electric charge. The unit of electric charge in the SI system is coulomb. Coulomb is the name of the scientist. Okay, Coulomb proposed one theory also. That's why in the honor of the scientist Coulomb, Andrew Coulomb, the unit of the charge is named as coulomb. Okay, so the SI unit of the charge is coulomb. Now let us discuss about the effects produced by the charges. Okay, what is the nature of the charge? Here, when charge is at rest, suppose if any body contains some charge and the charge is present at rest only. When charge is at rest, it produces only electric field. Okay, like magnetic field. We know magnetic field is present around the magnet. Suppose one bar magnet is there. Okay, around the bar magnet, magnetic field is present. So like that, when charge is either positive charge or negative charge, around the charges also field is present. So when charge is at rest, it produces only electric field. Okay. Suppose when charge is in motion, it is moving. When charge is moving, it produces magnetic field. Okay. For example, here one copper wire is there. Current is flowing through the charge is flowing through this charge is flowing through this wire. Then what is happening here? A magnetic field is produced around it. Okay, When charge is at rest, it produces only electric field. When charge is in motion, it produces magnetic field. And third one, if charge accelerate, this is most important concept. Okay, by any process, if we keep the charge in acceleration, then the accelerated charge, okay, accelerated charge produces both the electric field and the magnetic field. Okay, both electric field and magnetic field. Or when charge oscillate or accelerate, it produces both electric field and magnetic field. So this is most important concept about the charges. Charges at rest produces only electric field. Charges in motion produces magnetic field. When charge is in acceleration or oscillating, it produces both electric field and magnetic field.